Okay, so this is about applications of hyperbola. So I'm going to give you two examples about this topic. So we have example number one. It says a yacht is traveling on a course parallel to and 80 kilometers from straight shoreline of Palawan. Two transmitting stations are located 180 kilometers apart on the shoreline. By timing radio signals from two stations, the yacht's navigator determines that the yacht is between two stations and 60 kilometers closer to Station A than to Station B. Find the distance of the yacht to each station. So, para maintindihan natin mabuti yung problem, first is we have to illustrate the situation. Okay? So, meron tayong yate, ta-travel siya parallel to and 80 kilometers from straight shoreline of Palawan. So, ibig sabihin, ang vertical distance niya from the shoreline is 80 kilometers. Tapos may dalawang transmitting stations 180 kilometers apart na yung two transmitting stations ay nasa shoreline. Tapos nag-release ng radio signals yung dalawang stations to locate, okay, the yacht, okay? And it determines that the two stations are 60 that the yacht is between the two stations 60 kilometers closer to station A than to station B. We're going to determine the distance of the yacht to each station. So, ibig sabihin nito, this is an application of hyperbola about the Lorentz system. Yung Lorentz system na na-discuss ko sa inyo before. Okay? Doon sa previous video. Yung Lorentz system, ang definition niya, long-range aid to navigation system. Yung stations na yan, nagre-release ng radio signals para malocate yung position of the ship or aircraft. Okay? Yan yung Lorentz system. Okay. Kuhan muna natin ang illustration. So, meron tayong dalawang stations. Ito yung ating shoreline. So, alin ba mas malapit sa ship? Sa yate, yung bang A or B? Sabi dito, 60 km closer to Station A than to Station B. So, mas malapit sa Station A yung yate. So, sabihin natin, ito yung Station A. Ito yung ating Station B. Yung two stations, actually, yun yung location ng foci ng ating hyperbola. So, let's say na andito yung ating ship. Yung yate. Yung ship. O yate. Okay. So, ito yung distance ng yate dun sa Station B. So, connect natin. Ito naman yung distance ng yate dun sa Station A. Okay. At ang layo ng ating yate dun sa ating shoreline ng Palawan is 80 kilometers. Okay. And then, let's say na andito yung ating F1, okay, at yung ating F2. At yung distance between the two stations ay 180 kilometers. Okay, 180 kilometers. So, makatuwid, if we're going to divide 180 kilometers into half, yun yung location ng center. Okay. So, ito yung sabihin natin yung x-axis, ito yung ating y-axis. So, sabihin natin, ang center of the hyperbola is located at the origin. So, ang kalahati nito will be 90. So, therefore, yung F1 natin is located at 90, 0 of our ginawang XY plane. Okay? So this is the focus, yung location of the stations. So ito, yung focus 2 will be negative 90, 0. Okay? And then, the vertical distance of the yate dun sa ating x-axis is 80 kilometers. So we do not know the horizontal distance. So ito yung horizontal distance niya. So the location of the yate will be x, 80. Okay? Lagyan natin dito. Okay. Kuha tayo dito ng graph muna ng parabola natin. Okay. Hindi masyadong maganda. Adjust natin. Okay. So, sabihin natin, ito yung ating hyperbola. Tatamaan to. Okay. So, ito yung ating hyperbola dito. Okay. Yan. Okay. Ito itong ating hyperbola. Yan. So, yung hyperbola, yung ating shape, part siya ng ating hyperbola. Okay? Dadaan siya dun sa curve of the hyperbola. And then, the location of this yate is no horizontal distance, but we know the vertical distance. That is 80 kilometers. So, x, 80. So, alam natin itong focus 1, 90, 0. This is negative 90, 0. This is station B. This is station A. Okay? So, ang kailangan natin makuha ay yung distance of the yacht to station B and distance of the yacht from to station A. So, ito sabihin natin yung D sub 1 and D sub 2. Okay? Yung D sub 1 natin, distance of the yacht to station A. Station B. And D sub 2 is distance of the yacht to station A. So, yun ang kailangan natin. But before we can solve these two distances, we have to get the equation of this parabola with these conditions. The conditions natin, we know the location of the foci, and we all know that the shape has an ordered pair on the curve of the hyperbola at x, 0, 80. Okay? Now, ano po ba makukuha muna natin dito? We can determine the value of C based from the focal length. The focal length is 180. So, solving for C. Paano ulit yun? 2C, which is the distance from F1 to F2, is equal to 180. Dividing both sides by 2, therefore C equals 90. So, meron na tayong C. Ano pang pwede nating makuha? Okay, dito, from this statement, the yacht is between two stations and 60 km closer to station A than to station B. What does it mean? Ibig sabihin, if the distance of the yate is 100 kilometers to station B, ang distance ni yate dun sa station A will be 40. No? Kumbaga, if D1, let's say, if D1 is 100, therefore D2 is 40. How did I obtain D2? Simple. 60 kilometer closer than station A kesa ka station B, si yate. So that will be 100 minus 60. Or the sum or the difference of these two. D2, D1 minus D2 equals 60. Okay? Ibig sabihin, ang difference ng distances nila is equal to 60 kilometers. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng 60 kilometers closer to station A than to station B. Therefore, we have a new equation, and that equation is D1 minus D2 equals 60. Kung natatandaan nyo sa derivation ng hyperbola, ang definition ng hyperbola is a point, any point on the hyperbola, if we're going to get the distance of this point from the two fixed points, F1 and F2, it is always constant. And that constant value is equals to 2a. Therefore, we can solve the value of a based from this equation. Okay? Solving a. Ano yun? Sabi natin, D1 minus D2 equals to a. D1 minus D2 is 60. Therefore, A equals 30. Okay. Then, solving B. Solve na natin si B. Paano masosolve si B? Using the relation B squared equals C squared minus A squared. Therefore, B equals C squared is, let's see, 90 squared minus 30 squared. So the value of B is 60 square root of 2. 60 square root of 2 kilometers. Okay. Pwede natin masolve yung equation. Solving the equation of the hyperbola. So, paano masolve the equation? Transverse axis natin is along x-axis. Therefore, the equation of the hyperbola is x squared is positive. Si y squared ang negative. So, x squared, a squared is, that will be 30 squared, y squared over 60 square root of 2 squared equals 1. Okay? So, that will be, the equation is x squared over 900 minus y squared over 7,200 equals 1. Okay. So, meron na tayo na equation ng hyperbola. Remember, ang pinapanong-tanong sa atin is D1 and D2. Okay, para makuha natin si D1 at si D2, kailangan alamin natin si coordinates ni yate. At makukuha lang natin yon if we know the value of x. So we have to solve the value of x. Since we already have now the equation of the hyperbola, we can substitute the value of y or 80 to y squared. And then we can solve the value of x. Okay? Now, pag nakuha na natin yon, we can now determine D1 and D2 using distance formula. Solve for x if y equals 80. So, ibig sabihin, if y is 80, we can solve for x. Okay? Saan yun? Yung point na yun. So, x squared over 900 minus 80 squared over 7,200 equals 1. So, we have x squared over 900, 1 plus, this is 6,400 over 7,200. Then I'm going cross to multiply 900. So, x squared is 900 times quantity 1 plus 6,000, 80 squared. Is that tama? 6,400 over 7,200. Pagsamahin ko muna to. That is 1 plus quantity 6,400 over 7,200. 17 over 9. So this is x squared 900 times 17 over 9. So pwede ko itong makancel. May matitira ditong 100 squared equal to 1,700. Then we get the square root on both sides of the equation. Answer is 10 squared of 17 or 41.23. X equals 10 squared of 17 or x equals 41.23 kilometers. Okay. So, since alam na natin yung x, pwede nating ma-solve yung D1 and D2 na pinapahanap sa atin. Okay? Okay. Yeah. Si D1 muna. So, ito ay 41.23. Okay. So, D1. Distance formula. That will be 41.23 minus 90. Okay? Minus 90 squared. Plus 80 minus 0 squared. $93.69 kilometers. So 93.69 kilometers. Okay. Okay. Dito naman. D sub 2. So ito, x natin is 41.23. 41.23 minus 90. 41.23. That will become positive. Okay. Squared plus 80 minus 0 squared. So equals 153.69. So 153.69 kilometers. Okay. Okay. So yun nasagot natin. Ito ay distance of the ship. Ito ay yacht. To spelling. To station A. Ito ay yacht to station B. Okay. Yan, station B. Now, sabi natin, mas malapit daw ng 60 kilometers yung station A sa yate as compared dun sa station B. Okay, check daw natin. Dapat lalabas, if we get the difference of the two distances, dapat ang difference ay 60 kilometers. So, checking. D1 minus D2 should equal to 60 kilometers. Kasi mas malapit daw siya si station A ng 60 kilometers kesa sa station B. So, 153.69 D2, baliktad. Itong D2, ito yung D1. Okay? That's my mistake. So, D1 minus D2 should equal to 60. So, tingnan natin. So, 153.69 minus 93.69, dapat 60 kilometers yan. O, tama. 60 kilometers equals 60 kilometers. Ibig sabihin, tama yung sagot natin. So, that is one application of hyperbola in real-life situation. So, thank you.